Evening. I'm going to make this quick because my car's really cold, but I can't have the heating on because it's too loud. Movie review. Should have done one for Little Women. Didn't. Should have done because it was amazing. However, that was a couple of weeks ago and I feel that ship has sailed. So I will talk about tonight's film, which was Richard Jewell. This is the latest offering from actor-director Clint Eastwood. And it is a true story about the security guard who discovered the bomb in Centennial Park in Atlanta during the 1996 Olympics, who initially was hailed as a hero for finding it and reporting it, and then was, well, basically framed by the press and the FBI as a suspect. I didn't know a huge amount about this. 1996, summer 96, I would have been about 14. So yeah, this wasn't on my radar at all. But I'd seen the trailers, I thought it looked interesting, so I thought I'd give it a bash. It was good. It's certainly flawed. Big plus for me, Clint Eastwood film that he's not in. And I know that's a controversial opinion. I'm not a fan. Like, some of these films I've enjoyed, I can just about put up with them in some films. Someone's really beepy with the old horn out there. I don't know what that beef is. Yeah, so sometimes I can just about put up with him, but he wasn't in this one and I was pleased. Yeah, it's good. It's solid. It's not great. I think what bugged me about it was some of the characters, even though they're based on real people, were a bit cartoony and a bit caricature, and one in particular that stands out is John Hamm, who was a great actor playing Tom Shaw, the FBI agent, who just basically is like a sneering pantomime villain, decides that Richard is guilty and just sort of guns for him. Yeah, I just felt that was a bit, like I say, a bit cartoony. Olivia Wilde, who I've got a lot of time for, she directed Booksmart, which was one of my favourite films of last year. Great actress. You'll know her if you used to watch House. She played 13. She plays the journalist who runs the story, which basically frames Richard Jewell. And again, she was almost a bit cartoony, your classic sort of, almost like a slutty Lois Lane, like I'm gonna get my story by any means necessary. And she's a very attractive woman, and she's since come out and said that sort of scenes where it's suggested that she used her feminine charms to get information aren't true to the character she was playing, the real person of Kathy Scruggs. So that didn't sit very well with me. If I'm looking at the positives, two performances that really stood out for me. I mean, the guy playing Richard Jewell himself was very good. Not somebody I'm familiar with, but he was, perfect for the role. The awkwardness, the shyness, the just weird enough to make you think, well, did he do it? His mother is played by Kathy Bates, and she's a fantastic actress. She really always has been. Probably the most famous role she's played is in Misery. Here she plays, like I say, his mother, and she's just superb. She's real pride in the way she looks at her son, and then such confusion when everybody turns on him when only a few days before the media was calling him a hero. So she's very good. By far, for me, the standout performance in this was Sam Rockwell, and it just gives me opportunity to say, by God, I love Sam Rockwell. Like, what an actor. What a man. There's just something about Sam Rockwell that I absolutely love. And the first two roles I think of when I think of him that put him on sort of my radar were quite different roles. One, The Green Mile, in which he plays not a nice guy. And then also the villain in the original Charlie's Angels film from the very late 90s with Drew Barrymore and co. I just think he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. Great film by Ridley Scott called Matchstick Men that he did with Nicolas Cage. He's just brilliant in everything he's in. And while this isn't like a comedy by any stretch of the imagination, it's not wall-to-wall lols, but any laughs you get come from his lines, and it's just the delivery and just his inherent Sam Rockwell-ness. So I really enjoyed a bit of that because I don't feel like I've seen him in anything for ages. So all round, all things considered, it's good. It's not great. It's certainly flawed, but it's not a bad way to pass a couple of hours. And just a really horrible incident. The bomb killed 2 people and injured over 100. Had it not been for the actions of Richard Jewell, it would have been a lot worse. But just a really awful thing. One more thing before I go, because I haven't got a lot more to say about it. Now that I've talked in other videos about like enjoying the 80s-ness of certain films I've seen in the last year or so, now as we move further and further away from the 90s, much as it breaks my heart to say that, but it's true, the further we go, the more I'm not making films, but the more things can be set in the 90s and they're like historical. So you're looking back going, oh, 90s hair, look at the 90s clothes, and just the very 90s-ness of it just really sort of struck me. Like I say, I was in my mid-teens then, I was about 14, and it's just weird that now we're getting to a point where it's 2020 and looking back on 1996 is, like I say, it's becoming like a real sort of historical look back at what things were like back then in terms of, technology and fashion and so on. So yeah, it was just a little bit of an amusement to me. But see it, don't see it. It's not a waste of 2 hours of your life. It's entertaining enough. Not his best, but certainly not his worst either. That's it. Got nothing more to say. More films planned for the weekend. Hopefully the David Copperfield film, and also Dolittle with the kids. But I will report on those as they happen. Good night, kids. Katie out.